Hello and welcome back. Today we're kind of be talking about something that I have wanted to make a video about for like a very long time. actually. It's actually going to be about my favorite game. So, I have a lot of videos about games and what are my favorite games, and this hasn't come up yet. So, we're going to talk about the game that kind of saved my life. Maybe. Who knows? Time will tell. But okay, so a few years ago, I had a really bad mental health crisis. Like, the worst I've experienced in my life up until then, and haven't experienced anything that bad since. And it was pretty bad. Like, my entire life fell apart. I lost most of my friends. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I was in a really bad place. But in my recovery from that, I had a lot of free time where I was waiting for my meds to work, waiting for the therapy to work, and I had a lot of energy to put in a place, and I didn't really know what. So that's how I ended up playing Apex Legends. I always wanted to play like online games. Like, it was always like a fantasy of mine to be like a gamer girl. I mean, I was a gamer girl, but I played a lot of story-based, campaign-based games, mostly shooters. Bethesda's entire catalog of like Wolfenstein and Doom. But I always wanted to play like a competitive FPS. So I decided to play Apex Legends. And like, I think I'd always had a lot of fear and anxiety around playing an online game, especially as a girl. And I thought that the minute I got on, I'd be like harassed and bullied. And the fact that my mental health was already quite bad, I always kind of felt like maybe it's not test fate. But I think what happened was like, at that point in my life, I genuinely had nothing left to lose. So I was like, why not? Why not? Fuck it, let's do it. So I'm really glad that I did do that, because it changed my life in a very positive way. Not only did it help me through the worst part of my life so far, it gave me one of my best friends and gave me a bunch of other friends that I would not have met if not for the game. Apex gave me a community when I had nothing, and I will always, always, always be grateful for that. So, if you know nothing about Apex Legends, allow me to introduce the game. Apex Legends is a hero shooter from Respawn, and it's published by EA Electronic Arts. And it came out in 2019, and it's part of the Titanfall series, a series of first-person shooter games set in like this very lore-heavy science fiction universe. It's a free-to-play live service games, which means that it's constantly being updated. There's always a new season and events and legends or characters. Literally, I'm speaking this on launch day after launch of season 29, which is called Overclocked and features a new hero called Axel. The main game is a battle royale style game, main game mode. You have 20 squads of 3 in trios or 2 people in duos, and you fight it out to be the last group standing. You loot across the map as it gets smaller and smaller, and you have to stay inside the ring. The ring is the only safe area, but it shrinks as the game progresses, and the area outside of the map becomes uninhabitable, and the storm gets stronger and stronger for each round. I think there are like 6 rounds. Um, 6 rounds, and most games last about 20 minutes if you make it that far. And I would say the lore is pretty good. It's set in this Hunger Games-esque universe where the games are being broadcasted to the entire universe. And each hero or legend participates with their own motivation as to why they've entered the games. And they all have it based on their backgrounds, where they're from, who they're doing it for, or why they're doing it. One of my favorite characters is called Conduit, and she joins the games to make money for her family, so it's got like some interesting lore if you like deep dig into each character and figure out what brought them to the games, why are they in the games, what's their motivation to keep playing it. I guess that's not necessary, but I like that aspect of it. The lore fits into the Titanfall universe. I'm not going to speak too much about that because if I do, I will make mistakes. But Titanfall is basically a science fiction universe where humanity has settled in the far and distant galaxies, and humans, as always, are having conflict. And one of these conflicts kind of takes place in these mech suits called Titans. And Titans are these big robo mechs that you can fight other people with. It's really fun. I really like Titanfall 2. I have an emotional attachment to the Titan in Titanfall 2 called BT. But other than that, you don't need to know anything about the Titanfall universe to play Apex Legends. I just think it's really cool. I'd say the thing that I enjoy the most about Apex is that there is a lot of choice. Like, it's the reason why I keep going back to it. I can't get over, like, I've played other competitive FPS games, but I keep coming back to Apex because there's so much freedom in the play style, positioning, and the intensity of play. In Apex, we have 5 classes. These are your types of legends, the types of legends that you can play. You have Skirmisher, Assault, Recon, Controller, and Support. And each class does something different. Assault is for heavy damage, Skirmisher is for quick fights in and out, Recon is for finding enemies, Support is for providing health, shields, gear, whatever, reses especially, and Control is for controlling areas, buildings, and parts of the map. And within that are legends that have their own unique skills and abilities that also add to the playstyle and add to your playstyle and how you play the game. I really love that it's about your choice. I'm not a person who cares about team comp. I don't think we need one of this, one of that. I think you should play what you like and what you feel comfortable with, but each class and legend has its advantages and disadvantages. And you could, if you wanted to, compose a squad that was perfectly balanced and suited every playstyle and suited every, ability. But on top of that, there's your choice of guns. There are different classes and kinds of guns, different ammo categories. So depending on what kind of damage you want to do, long range, short range, up close, medium, your play style is so flexible to what you choose and how you want to play the game. On top of that, there's positioning. There's how you fight. Do you push every fight? Do you corner every fight? Do you try to create a situation where the fights come to you? Do you look for a fight? Do you third party? Like, there's just so many choices. And Apex asks you all of these and makes you decide in the moment. As a player, I always find that the most important skill is being flexible. I always kind of say you have to be as stupid as the stupidest person on your team, because that stupid person is gonna run into a building and die, but they can do it by themselves, or you can do it with them and have a better chance of surviving. Like, I know that might trigger a lot of Apex players, but the fact is it's a team game, and the strongest comp is always 3 people or 2 people who work together. You know, like at its core, video games are about having fun. And if you're not having fun, then what's the point? And if you play a game that you don't find fun, it's just gonna make you insanely miserable. I'm saying this as somebody who I do want to get better at the game, and I've worked very hard to be average at Apex Legends. But the day it stops being fun, I will stop playing it. And when I started playing Apex, I was so bad, like horrendously bad. And my friends would tell me, stop playing it like a role-playing game, like an RPG. Like, you can't just spend 15 minutes looting and then die to the first squad. If that's your vibe, sure. But they forced me to take fights, and they forced me to get better. And I think I spent a lot of time feeling like I just straight up wasn't good enough, and that I was, being a burden and holding people back, and maybe people will be better off playing without me. And that's one mindset to have. Apex asks you to find your full potential. Things are not handed to you, and you have a choice in how to play the cards you are given. You are given the conditions, and the rest is up to you. It's one of the things I enjoy the most about playing Apex and even watching competitive Apex and the LGS is that the game never looks the same because of all this choice and flexibility. The end game will never look the same because your composition, your guns versus the enemy composition and the enemy guns always look a bit different. And as well as where the game ends, where the ring ends is always different. So this like unpredictability and freedom and having to think in the moment is really what I love about playing Apex. You really have to be flexible and be adaptable. And I hate to be that person who says it, but this shit is applicable in real life. Like, it really made me realize how situations don't have to determine your outcome. If you're in a bad spot, you got bad positioning, bad guns, bad everything, you can always reset and try again, even if it's only in the next game. You always have a chance to improve and do better. When I started playing Apex, I genuinely thought I'd always be shit, like always and forever. And that I was just a burden to my teammates and my friends, and it made me realize that it wasn't about the game as much as hanging out with people who got what I got and didn't care if I was bad, just that I was there. Oftentimes, I'd play with friends who were like way better than me, like so much better than me. And instead of them being like, yeah, you're shit at the game, never touch a controller again, they give me directions on how to be present in the game and leverage being bad to still win the game. Because in Apex, the only bad teammate is a teammate who doesn't work with you. The only bad teammate is a teammate who won't play the game with you. You can be incredibly average, like me, and win games by being there for your friends. I always talk about the Apex player base being my favorite because when I started playing the game, I was always looking for friends and people to play with the game, so I would go into matches with an open mic, which now is like insane because what the fuck are you doing, little girl? Open mic, toxic gamers. But honestly, it was kind of the most heartwarming experience because I got to meet a lot of people who also really liked playing the game and were also kind of bad at playing the game, and they just wanted to work together to have a good experience. It wasn't about winning, it was about coordinating and sometimes getting close to winning. And it's because of that I got to make really good friends. And the truth is, yeah, they're idiots and assholes and really miserable people in the game sometimes, but I feel like that's kind of true of real life. you're always going to find miserable people who want to make other people miserable, and they're inevitable, but you can't let them define your experience. And that's true of the game and of life. I really like Apex Legends. I love Apex Legends. It was there for me in a really awful time. It gave me community and friendship, and it was an opportunity to grow. And it showed me that if I put time and effort and I really tried hard at something, I could become a little bit better at it. Like, currently, still pretty shit. I've been playing for 3-4 years now, and I am still not great, but I'm a lot better than when I started. And I find when I give my time to working on it and working on my aim and doing this and doing that, it's time that I've spent doing something that's like working on myself versus sitting in a shame spiral of, oh, I'm just horrible at this and horrible at that, and I should never ever play this game. Like, I think the point of this kind of series of videos is that things that make you uh, come to terms with the fact that you can be bad at a lot of things, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do them, is kind of the point. You know, Apex is a game that has a really high skill level and it's really difficult to be good at. But now and then you have a game that reminds you why it's good to play the game. You know, like I had a game a few weeks ago that made me stop playing Apex every day again. And I was not doing well. I was doing okay. I was helping out where I could. And my teammates brought me back for the final circle just so I could win with them. And I can't think of anything better or heartwarming than people helping you when they don't have to. And I think I have so many experiences like that in Apex where they don't have to help you. They don't have to be kind. They don't have to reach out and have a human connection with you, but they do. And it kind of reminds me that everyone has that side in them that is capable of connection and openness and working together and getting through a really hard situation together. And I know it's probably just a video game, but yeah, saved my life just a little bit. Thanks.